need the papers for?
Some numbers.
You have to be an eco-friendly journalist here. In the digital world, you have to be eco-friendly.
No, even I've got papers.
Yeah.
But I have managed with
one.
No, not even one. Old papers, old printouts from last year. And for my entire research, I've just used 1.5 paper so that I don't waste it. And research is very intense because the subject is going to be very intense.
Absolutely.
Which is the all-time IPL 11 based on all seasons. We've decided to pick. Only doing that because it's a trending topic. Though I hated it earlier. I said, no way are we going to be talking about IPL in the middle of a test series. I said, no way. But then my two younger colleagues, the ones that are big IPL fans, one is a Chennai fan, one is a Delhi fan, they insisted no, that because it was a trending topic, we must pick all-time IPL 11. I said, okay, if you've done. Plus, I had done some homework yesterday on our sister channel.
Oh yes.
And I could not, my turn could not reach because there was bigger news that came.
Oh yes.
So I was like, I'm not going to waste all my research that I've done now. So might as well put it to good use. And since the India-England series slightly in terms of news is a bit short, apart from the fact that KL Rahul, that's the only latest news. KL Rahul is still not fit for the test match.
And there's hope that he is fit for Dharamshala.
There's more doubt than hope.
There's no doubt.
There's more doubt than hope.
Really?
Yeah. That's what the statement clearly said.
Oh man.
It's subject to fitness.
But that has been there ever since.
But I'm sure, let me ask Shivam, okay, test matches तो ठीक है, you're leading, आते जाते रहते हैं. Bigger tournament is after that.
Of course.
That is IPL.
The cricket tournament.
And he's a very important part of Lucknow Super Giants. Last time also missed out. Shivam, our producer, who's rolling the show live, he's a Lucknow Super Giant fan. Are you worried that KL Rahul will be fit in time for IPL? You worried about it because he's pulled out of this test match, or you think there's enough time? 22nd March is long time away, so he'll be fit.
No, I'm worried because he missed.
You are very tense.
Yes.
He's tense.
I don't think he's got reason to be tense.
He missed half IPL.
But yeah, he missed last half IPL, but that injury happened while playing, not before.
Yeah.
And usually before it starts, you know, if you work on your body, then you can be fit in time for it to start. And I think he has enough time. So you don't need to worry much.
Exactly 1 month and 1 day to go.
So don't tell me he won't be fit even by then. I'm sure.
No, he will be. He will be. Also, just trying to read into, let's say, the statements and the comments that have come, source-based, reports-based, and let's say the one official comment that came yesterday as well. It doesn't quite look like, you know, it's as grave an issue as it, let's say, was when there was Asia Cup last year. And he, as we've seen, he did manage to, you know, before the start of a big tournament, he then did regain full fitness. And I'm guessing...
Why did you give false information yesterday saying he's in that temple, so he might be back?
He was moving around fine.
But moving around in a temple is not match fitness. Na?
Agree. We just went by visuals. If let's say that was just padded up with another Instagram update, which have been very deceptive in the past as well, you never know. So
no, because you were hoping that he comes back.
Yeah.
For the next test match, because your middle order is still not sorted. The issue still persists with the Patidar. Even though I agree that too early to judge him, 4 innings, should not judge him now. In a way, it's a blessing in disguise for Patidar.
3rd time's the charm now.
Yeah, because at least you would want to see him. No, then you can take a final call whether he's fit or not. What's the point? Just 4, then he'd be hanging in the middle.
Yeah.
Like if KL had to come.
Don't mete out the same treatment that you did to KS Bharat then. Again, what was the sample size? 5 test matches, West Indies series, you switched to Ishan Kishan. You want to give somebody a run, you want to try someone out, then truly try someone out. Not like
no, but in KS Bharat's case, I think they had moved forward with Ishan Kishan.
Yes.
It's just that unforeseen circumstances because of the fallout, they had to go back.
Yeah.
You didn't account for that now. And who knew that you will be giving Ishan Kishan an ultimatum, go play a domestic game, and he will still not play. So then you had to go back to KS Bharat. That was a compulsion.
And even when that opportunity came towards KS Bharat, because that ship, for all you knew, that ship had sailed past KS Bharat in West Indies itself when Ishan Kishan was given his cap. But then those opportunities came in this series and again they went begging. So I think now that case has been made, okay, he didn't make the most of his chances. Yes, with Rajat, I would want to see him a little more. But yes, he's got one more game to maybe make a mark and not, let's say, follow the footsteps of KS Bharat. Because again, these days, unless you're the blue-eyed boy or somebody who the team management sees potential in, you're not getting more than 4 or 5 games.
Who is the blue-eyed boy?
There have been in the past.
Give me example. Don't say these sweeping statements like that. Tell me who is the blue-eyed boy who's got more chances than others.
There are. They play at times. They play right at the top. They play in the middle order at
name.
times.
Who? KL Rahul. Name it. What you talking
KL Rahul.
Who are you? Because KL Rahul, I'm sorry, sir, he was dropped also.
Yeah.
He was dropped also.
Yes, he made a comeback.
After BGT.
And you can have different comments on his fitness, but which is a matter of concern, because you know in his case those issues keep cropping up. So overall fitness is an issue. But I'm saying you can't judge him the fact that he's earned his place back now. He's
I'm not
done
judging
well.
him.
So then who are you talking about? Who's the blue-eyed boy? Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. Who are you talking about?
I'll name some other time. But maybe
you could have said Ishan Kishan there, to they've dropped him.
Yeah.
I don't see any blue-eyed boy in Test cricket. Sorry.
There is.
I've named a whole batting order, yaar.
You have to be brave enough to tell it.
I'll name some other time.
I have named the batting order. It cannot be Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Oh, he doesn't make it to your level then.
It cannot be Rohit Sharma. It cannot be Yashasvi Jaiswal. It cannot be a Virat Kohli. It cannot be a KL Rahul. At the moment, it can't even be Patidar, Sarfraz, anyone, because they've just started. So they cannot be blue-eyed boy. It cannot be a Jurel. He's only played one game. There is nobody. I cannot think of a single player. There cannot be a Jadeja. It cannot be an Ashwin. It cannot be a Jasprit Bumrah.
Can't be a Siraj.
So who is it? I can't think of it.
Kuldeep also no.
Can't be a Kuldeep.
Can't be.
So there are don't pass these sweeping statements till you have something factual to it, that blue-eyed boys get a chance. No, I think the same yardstick is followed.
Maybe.
As they say, samajhdar ko ishara.
Because as I said, I don't have proof. So that's why I'm not going to comment.
And there are numbers to prove.
So what are you going to comment on? You're not commenting on KL Rahul. You're not going to comment if there are blue-eyed boys. You're not going to comment if Rajat Patidar will give an extension or not, or should be given an extension.
No, I said
that third time's the charm.
You have commented. He has not.
I did. I said third time's the charm for Rajat Patidar. He's going to get a run.
And KL Rahul's fitness?
Now I hope he makes it to Dharamshala. Otherwise then missing an international series and coming back directly into the IPL.
Is there a problem?
In the case of KL Rahul, it's equal. He suffered injuries even during the IPL, even during international. It seems to be a perennial long run issue with KL Rahul as far as managing his fitness and body is concerned. Because when he gets an injury, it's like a wave of injuries. Remember, he had COVID, then sports hernia, then
hip flexor
issue,
then hamstring.
It all seems to come at a tide to KL Rahul, which is really, really bad luck.
No, but it may sound horrendous, as Arshad is saying. So many injuries is counting, but let's be serious about it. I know you're counting them out just to say, "Dekha, ye bhi problem." I know that.
Anything.
I know that, but I'm just saying. I'm going back to what Ashwin had said. Ashwin had said that if you get one injury, and sometimes you say this guy gets too many injuries, but like he had explained, if you get a shoulder injury, then you're trying to not bowl in the same way. That sometimes puts pressure on your hip and
back.
You can have that. So it's all interrelated. So it's not so much that he's injury prone. If he gets one injury, then it can result in other places getting injured. But I know purposely you're naming hip flexor, this problem. That means he has too many problems. That's how you said it. I just wanted to put the record straight.
It's like this Indian team's cricketing calendar, which I know far better than the other things in life. So it's this injury list as well, which I've gone through again and again. It's just imprinted in the head. So yeah, you name one, I can name the other 4 as it followed. So it's just
but that's the impression you're trying to give to people.
I'm not giving any sort of impression.
See, he has this problem, that problem, this problem.
But he made a comeback. You saw his performances in the World Cup. He lost out on his place in the Test team. Came back, scored a century in Centurion, 2 times now back to back, in fact, at the same venue. So he's earned his place back as well in the side. So that's to not be forgotten as well in the same breath, I must add.
Yep.
And was going well in this series until, of course,
he had an 87.
Yeah.
And he didn't do well in the second innings. But then.
So as Harshit has just informed us that there's still not really a chance. There's more chance of him missing the Dharamshala test match also than this, which is matter of serious concern. And then it could have extended to the IPL also. But as we just discussed, there's enough time, 1 month before the IPL. So I'm sure that much time he will have to recover. So Shivam, worry not. He should be there once the IPL starts. So
I want a full-time captain, not a part-time.
oh, as a Lucknow Super Giants fan, he wants a full-time captain. He is your full-time captain, but you want him to be available full-time. No, so he's going to start, obviously. But what happens after that tournament, that's anybody's guess. How can I sit here today, if I was KL Rahul, how can I sit here today and guarantee you that I will be fit? I cannot. Nobody, no player can guarantee. So you should, as a fan, be happy that if he starts, which he will.
I want him fully fit.
He will be, don't worry. He will be, to start with. After that, I don't know. Then you don't know about any player once it's done. Patidar gets another shot, or
Yes.
you're going to look at...
He will.
Yeah, otherwise you have what? Washington to look
Washington, but that will only
Akshar
be if
Patel also.
at. Aksar, but I think you're looking at Patidar one
Patidar
more
only.
time. Yeah.
He will continue. You're looking at Washington or Aksar either as a backup to if Jaddu or Ashwin gets injured.
Correct.
That is the only way. I don't see Patidar is there. He'll get third time lucky, as I mentioned. Third time is the charm. He'll get it.
Even though going by just numbers, you can have Aksar play in your as a batter as well, but I don't think the team management would want to. Also, you're
that-
planning forward, let's say. You're
And
planning forward,
also-
you're trying to build, let's say, a core, you're trying to build.
If you want to have a cushion, they showed it in Rajkot. Promote Jadeja, get the other two to bat when the situation is much more easier. So Jadeja batted higher the order, then Patidar and Sarfaraz came in. The only thing is Patidar didn't capitalize, Sarfaraz did with 250s. But I think because KL is not fit, we all agreed that after Rajkot, if KL Rahul was fit, Patidar goes out, Sarfaraz keeps his place.
Yeah.
With no KL Rahul, I think Patidar keeps his place.
Achha, one more question. Outside chance that now Virat may come back? See, if he makes himself available, what if, okay, hypothetical situation, what if it now Jasprit Bumrah is resting, KL is not come back? What if England fight back? It's 2-2. Final test.
Then I think he will.
Dharamshala.
Then I'm tempted
Then-
to believe yes, he will come.
Maybe
I'm tempted.
if the scoreline then reads 2-2, I think then there'll be that hotline to Virat Kohli.
Because see, you
And
have
if you're Rohit Sharma, you're picking up the phone.
Yes, I
calling
am definitely picking up the hotline. There's not just going to be Rohit Sharma. I think there'll be Ajit Agarkar and Rahul Dravid also on that line.
Yeah.
Ki-
You've got a 8-day break. Now imagine this kind of a situation. 2-2. Heading into Dharamshala,
Yeah.
which we hope is a very competitive pitch like what we saw in 2017. It's not been changed much. 2-2. Bumrah, Kohli back. The series gets a blockbuster finish.
Yeah.
I like how it deserves. I would be tempted, yes. He makes himself available for the 5th test because there's an 8-day gap. And
Will he make
And it's
himself
different,
available?
let's say, if we were to go by, let's say, the last time around when, of course, he pulled out of the tour, but that was made very clear. He didn't rejoin or anything, and but the situation was different. It demanded him to fly out of the country, be in Australia again. So that was all too hypothetical. At the moment, you'd like to believe whatever he's in Mumbai or Delhi at the moment, if he is back.
How is he back? He's in England. He's
Yeah,
just
he's
done a
in
video.
If he is back by then of course.
Oh, by the time.
Yeah.
Yes, then of course you can okay, can we have you for 5 days? Series on the line, Dharamsala, it's not like, you're going to be caught in visa issues, long flights.
So how
this and
will,
that.
supposing KL is fit by then, Sarfaraz had another outstanding knock.
Maybe Patidar if you...
Oh, but KL is also available.
if KL Virat come back, there is very little chance you're squeezing in a Sarfaraz and
But
Patidar.
Sarfaraz, after the 2 innings, let's say he has an outstanding Ranchi test match also.
I think Sarfaraz could get an extension.
Then KL doesn't come in.
KL maybe, again
But
maybe...
is KL saying I'm fit now?
Then you can't fit both of them.
You can't fit both.
I'm
And
asking
Virat.
See, Virat
See,
will
you
come.
guys have the answers. I just have the question.
See, Virat will come in at number 4, KL will come in at number 5. Then that means...
And Sarfaraz you're saying surely out then if KL is available.
Yeah, where will you fit him then?
I would say given the form and if, again going by this hypothesis, if he has another good game, I think you would give Sarfaraz a chance because
The
anyway
only
the
way-
guy has had to wait too long.
The only way that can happen, make Rahul keep then you
Yes.
can get Sarfaraz drop.
No,
Jurel.
that
Jurel.
cannot happen. Yeah, he's just coming off an injury.
Exactly,
He's not
that's the
100%
only way.
sure
Yeah.
that he can do it. And the more important thing, there's an IPL that is going to come after that.
Yeah.
You want him to risk for you and keep and get injured and misses the IPL. It
Then
cannot happen
Sarfaraz
like
and
that.
Patidar
I mean,
can't
you
play.
should have some limitations in what your expectations are. Now you've gone like get
No.
him.
It's cricketing logic. Just that logic doesn't apply to this series
but
because it's been
cricketing
said
logic-
very clearly that he will not keep.
How can you then fit in both of them?
You
Cricketing
can't.
logic, then cricketing, but you have to be sensible in putting the cricketing logic. If I apply cricketing logic, then I'll say Jasprit Bumrah, I would have played him 5 test matches. That's far more important than IPL or whatever is coming later. But did you apply cricketing logic there? You guys were saying no, he needs to be rested. So you're not applying cricketing logic there.
I'm
but
against
in
the
KL Rahul's case, you are applying.
I'm
saying
against
I
the
am,
idea of Bumrah
because
resting
again,
for
I am-
Ranchi. I'm against that idea still.
But you said rest him in Dharamshala. You
Yes.
still said rest.
I said
Dharamshala.
But cricketing logic will
if
say,
India win the series 3-1,
Acha, then.
what if they don't win? Then what you do?
then I think they have gone with that plan B only. Rest Bumrah now.
No.
Let's see what happens in Ranchi without him. If it's 2-2,
I'm
play
sorry,
him in Dharamshala.
but you have different yardsticks for different people in your own assessment. In KL Rahul's case, you want him to sacrifice and keep for the team, risking his fitness for the IPL and various other forms that you are into. But in Jasprit Bumrah's case, you don't want to risk. So if it's not Ranchi, then it is Dharamshala. He should.
But there is a difference.
He should rest.
There is a difference because there is nobody else like Jasprit Bumrah in the country. You still have multiple replacements, or at least a couple good enough to, let's say, come in as direct replacements. That very instant you have a replacement. for
Now,
KL
is
Rahul.
it any coincidence now that your pitch, what Ollie Pope said, it looks very platy because there is cracks and one area is extremely dry, the other looks in much better shape. Half in that sense. You have already watered the pitch, it's allowed you to dry. Now, maybe for Ranchi, you're not going to rely on your pacers much, your spinners are going to do a bulk of your bowling. Say, no one's going to bowl 16-20 overs in the pacers.
Oh, that's interesting. So what you're saying is now that India has decided to rest Jasprit Bumrah, now they will suddenly say, let's make a
Dry,
spin
yeah.
friendly pitch
That's-
and play 3 spinners.
You'll anyway have to play 3 spinners.
No. Sorry,
Bumrah,
4.
Jadeja.
4.
4.
With Akshar coming in.
Yeah, you play only Siraj. You play only Siraj as your pacer. Then get in a 4th spinner because by Ollie Pope's description of the pitch, it looks very platy and dry.
I was, by the way, reading one of the
Yeah.
British newspapers, which does suggest that England are possibly looking at playing just one pacer.
Yes.
So if that is the case, India will also be probably doing that. And now you don't have Jasprit Bumrah. So, but then what is the thing that you say people get upset when you say that no, we don't prepare the pitches the way we want. So you're saying when Jasprit Bumrah was there,
Yeah.
gave all flat tracks because Jasprit Bumrah being Jasprit Bumrah will get you wickets.
Yeah.
Even if you make him bowl on a cement track, wherever you get him to. Now you don't have Jasprit Bumrah. Quickly let's.
Yeah. That's the only
That
way.
is a revelation.
That is the reason why he's been rested for Ranchi. Maybe it's a very spin-friendly
So
deck,
what happened
only one
to
pacer.
all the compliments that we gave towards the Indian team, complimenting them about the fact that good was finally getting to see, true surfaces in the sense typical Indian surfaces, good day for 3-4 days of batting, then will help the spinners and that too not ranked turner. We were harping praises on the Indian team the last few days and I really liked that approach. Now you're suddenly saying that is going to change. With no Jasprit Bumrah.
Yes.
But
Because
you can only pick
I'm
one
sorry, I'm
thing
not
now.
liking your teams.
I mean,
But I'll take that because earlier, so if it's revolving around my team's strengths as spinners, then there's somebody out there that has a problem. Okay, spin friendly. Now on a flat drag, if a pacer performs well, and now that he's not there, then you can't say okay, it's done
This
because
is next level customization, my friend. Like either you get turning pitches or you get flat in general. It's actually, but I
You've
shouldn't be
seen both,
surprised.
right, in these
No, but
three
I shouldn't be
matches?
surprised because based on the series, you have customized it. Just go back to Border Gavaskar, where you continue to have similar pitch. But for one test match, which is the final test match, because you needed a draw, you didn't want to risk either a win or a loss. It was a next level customization. So then customization is happening, and if it is happening, that's okay. You take one line that host will get advantage. Then you live with it, but then don't get offended if somebody points out.
But
that you customize
needed that customization in last year's BGT when push came to shove. This time around, that wasn't the case. You were still midway through the series and you dished out a flattish deck. knowing that your strength anyway would have been spin-friendly decks, but you went against that. Maybe it was the fact that you lost.
Same thing here. You've got one type of pitches almost 3 test match, almost. When I'm saying there'll be 19-20 ka
one
fark. And suddenly now you will get that pitch that you were thinking will come from first test match onwards. Suddenly in
But
Ranchi,
first you got a
See,
but that's a big change.
Rohit Sharma,
Wow.
after Rajkot, he tiptoed around the issue in the most candid manner. He stated that, okay, the question was asked, you prefer spin-friendly or flat decks? He stated that spin-friendly decks are our strength because it gives us the balance. But we have no say in what the pitch is made of. The curators decide.
That even the head coach said that we don't tell the curators.
We don't tell the curators one bit.
And now, when if you get that pitch, can you hold on to that?
No,
Will you have a leg to stand on?
you can't have
If
it.
now suddenly the pitch is customized as the way we are saying, suddenly you have had one formula which we've all appreciated, it's worked well for you, you lost a close first test match, from there on you won, and we've all praised this approach of the Indian team, that you have gone with these kind of tracks because you trust your bowling. You said our bowling is good enough, let's give this kind of tracks, and also will give confidence to our batters, our inexperienced batting. Now you've gone with it. Now one Jasprit Bumrah goes out. By the way, one Jasprit Bumrah going out is a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's not just one player. Jasprit Bumrah is one of a kind. Jasprit Bumrah is single-handedly the biggest match winner you have. I have no qualms in saying that. If you were playing, this Test cricket team selection was like gully cricket where each captain gets to pick, my turn. Then if I was there, if I had the first choice, eyes closed, Jasprit Bumrah is the first one I'm picking. So he is that important. I agree. So now he is not there, and complete 360 degree is going to turn. If that happens, then you have no leg to stand on and say, don't you dare question us about, serving up assorted pitches or customized pitches.
And look, in this
Then that is true.
entire series, England's batters have been clueless only against one bowler, Jasprit Bumrah. Spin has not troubled them that much. Okay, Jadeja went through took 5 in Rajkot, but that was because England had already surrendered. But the top order, lower order have all swing, beat the lengths that he bowls.
Especially in the
spells.
second test.
He has been, and look at how England's approach is going to be. That was why I was not in favor of resting Bumrah for Ranchi. Because what would happen is, England, look at how they'll approach now. Our main threat is gone. Now we'll come out gung-ho. You see, Bumrah is the guy who gave fear to them in the 3 tests. He was the difference maker. Look at that spell in Hyderabad. White heat, ducket gone, root gone. Look at Vizag, where no one could get wickets. Even your spinners struggled. Bumrah got you 6.
Yeah.
But it's also a approach which is fraught with risk. Suddenly, if you do get that kind of pitch, why I say it's fraught with risk is because the only time you got a pitch which was drier compared to the other ones in this series, though you've gotten like next level rank turners before that, but in this series was the first test match in Hyderabad. And what happened in that match? You ended up losing that game. And so from there on, you started having truer pitches, and what happened? You won. Now you're going to go back to that approach. I agree that Bumrah not being there is going to influence your decision, but you're going to go back to that approach. Is that a prudent approach? Because what happened? What was the argument? Why did you decide on going on these pitches? And we've all appreciated that because you realize that they have an inexperienced spin attack. They need conditions to get our batters out. The inexperienced spin attack. Ours is far better. We don't need, or why even spin attack, bowling attack. This is not Jimmy Anderson is the experienced one, but this is not Jimmy Anderson kind conditions. So the English bowling attack, if you give them a bad pitch, they will get wickets because the pitch will do its trick, not so much the bowling skill. But in our case, our bowlers are so good enough that they don't need pitches to assist them, that they can do the damage even on good pitches. That was the understanding, and you went that way and it showed. The same bowlers that you had in the first test match, in the second innings, were looking, lethal. They suddenly, after that, in the 2 test match, didn't look as lethal. So you neutralize their inexperienced bowling attack, saying good pitches, let's see which bowling attack is better. Now if you go back to preparing that kind of a pitch, what that does is your experienced spinners will get 2 wickets, but their inexperienced spinners will also get so many wickets because the pitch is assisting. So it's a dangerous proposition. It's a dangerous thing that India would be doing, even though it is without a Jasprit Bumrah.
That is why.
That scares me.
I wanted the same kind of sporting deck that you had in Rajkot or Vizag. Play Bumrah in that, win the series, and then you are basically going to have a 3-1 situation, and then you can rest Bumrah for Dharamshala. That gives you a full 20 plus days to rest him at a stretch before your first game that Mumbai Indians will play. Now you are risking a 2-2, okay, by this kind of an approach. Then you have to play Bumrah at Dharamshala. And what is the workload that he'll get? He'll get a maximum workload, 10 days of gap. That's it.
My guess in this whole situation is because these reports were doing the rounds even before the second test match that he will be rested. But he played before the third test match, but he played that third test match as well. I think this is all happening in consultation with the NCAA. The fact that at some point you all knew even at the start of the series that Jasprit Bumrah will have to be rested at some point, even though there are between 2 matches, there are big breaks in excess of, let's say, 5 days. We already had a 9-day break. You're looking at an 8-day break again. Even then you knew the fact that he played in South Africa very recently. You've seen so much of Jasprit Bumrah. You knew that at some point he will be rested. I think you did whatever that's the maximum you could have pushed, and that you did in Rajkot. Maybe you couldn't have done that anymore because that would have then involved a bigger risk of an injury that possibly would have then jeopardized not just Bumrah's chances but India's chances then in the T20 World Cup.
No, if you ask me, I wouldn't have rested him. Boss, he's my match winner. I want to win the series.
You're risking, you would have risked him.
Why? Because I don't want to even leave a slight door open for England to make a comeback. Why should I? They're down and out. You've hammered them the previous test match. Jasprit Bumrah has put fear in their hearts in the last 2 test match. Why? He's my main weapon. I want to win the series. Yeah. You know, you got your foot on
what about the World Cup then? What about the fact that yes,
I'm just saying for the World Cup. For the World Cup which is to come, why should I let go of this series? Let me deal with this. No, they often say that if you keep worrying about problems in the future, half of them don't even arise.
Yeah.
So worry about now. Now is this series. You need to win this series. It's a WTC spotted line. Here also you're fighting for an ICC trophy. Win the series, 3-1 up, then rest him. By all means, if you have to. And also because Dharamshala would have offered some assistance to fast bowlers. So because conditions would have been there, then maybe a Mukesh or a Akashdeep or Siraj could have also picked you a few wickets. Here, if you're going to give that kind of a track, they may not be very successful. So if you ask me, I would have played him. I want to win the series first. That's the first thing that I'll worry about. But I guess we'll have to make peace with it. Right. And what Harshad is saying, nowadays it's all decided by, NCA. NCA dictates what it has to be done. I believe even in Ranchi Trophy, bowlers are told, fast bowlers who are in the scheme of things for the Indian team, that you can only bowl these many overs a day, you cannot bowl more than that. Yeah. And so they have to follow that. If it's happening in Ranchi Trophy, sure enough, it's going to happen in international cricket. I agree he's bowled 90 odd overs, but I would have wanted to win the series. My other question is, because you're looking at the pitch and there are these reports and so on and so forth, should we 100% believe that? Because there are also reports today suggesting that India might still play 2 fast bowlers, that India might still go with an Akashdeep, maybe not so much Mukesh, but an Akashdeep who impressed in that against England Lions. Yeah. He picked up a lot of wickets. So he's done well. So let's play Akashdeep, and there are credible reports suggesting that India is looking at Akashdeep and Siraj both playing. So maybe it's a smoke screen, maybe it is not as much of a dry pitch as people think. Maybe it is like Hyderabad, where the touring team expected it to be like a rank turner. It did not quite turn out that way. So maybe it's not, and if India play 2 fast bowlers, then they've not gone down that route. I don't know. What do you reckon?
We hope so. I mean, the nature of the wicket is such that, even Gill admitted in the PC today that yes, it will assist the spinners. It will assist them, and you're probably going to get your first maybe rank turner. Perhaps that is one way of looking at it. But I think India must back their strengths. Be it any kind of a wicket, play your 3 spinners and 2 fast bowlers. Because if one fast bowler gets injured and you're playing 4 spinners, where is the potency then? You need 2 pairs. That's what England struggled. They got away with it in
Hyderabad.
but they didn't get away with it in Vizag. That's why they went to 2, Wood and Anderson. But after Anderson's shellacking in Vizag, I don't know whether he'll play in Ranchi. Maybe it will again only be Wood and you play 4 but who's your 4th spinner? Bashir comes back for the England team. Anyway, you'll come to know about it tomorrow, because tomorrow England will announce their playing 11 in the morning time. So we'll come to know about what is the indication then.
Though both teams, to be fair, have had different approaches.
Yep.
England did go with only 1 fast bowler.
In 2 tests, yeah.
Yes, and though India went with 2. So even though England may announce their 11 yesterday and assuming that they go with 1, that still doesn't necessarily tell us that India may not play 2.
Could be.
Yeah.
But I think they will play only 2 pacers and 3 pacers. I mean 3 spinners. I think Siraj will be there. They'll also be
India you're talking
India.
about.
I don't see England doing that. I think they may rest Jimmy for this particular test.
The thing, Robinson's been bowling a lot in the nets of late.
But if England want to play 5 spinners, they are more than happy to. Robinson is a part-time off spinner also. So they can play 5 spinners, no doubt about it. Their over rate will improve. Anyway, they are not making it to the WTC final primarily because their over rates were so bad. 10 points deducted.
Yeah.
So,
No, but he'll be the lone fast bowler if they play.
Yeah.
Just because he's a part-time off spinner.
So he can
Stop.
He can do that. I mean, if England want 5 spinners, 4.5 spinners, they got it in Robinson.
They already have a part-time off spinner in Joe Root. They will get him to bowl fast.
Or if this is a googly, which a lot of people are saying, your other pacer might necessarily be Ben Stokes.
Yes.
He's been bowling a lot. And that is why, if Stokes plays as a pacer and if he's about to bowl, anyway, throughout the series, you've seen him practice, you've seen him do these warm-ups, but he's not bowled in a test match situation. He's not bowled since the Ashes.
Last year, yeah.
He's not bowled till then. So, if Stokes is your pacer, then you can only afford to...
I think you are seeing Ben Stokes bowl this time around.
out of desperation.
No, maybe not to begin with. I guess if they need a situation like that, if they go with one fast bowler as is being reported, then they go as a backup with Stokes if need be, if they have been fooled by the pitch, which kind of happened in the first test match in Hyderabad, which they still ended up winning. Maybe then he goes as a backup, but may not want to risk him. Anyway, Stokes, the batter, hasn't really come to the party. So somebody might say that, you want to contribute, do it with the ball, if not just with the bat.
He can only throw the bat around after he gets bowled.
Okay, let's take, because we're on this subject, I know that our topic suggested something else, but because, it made for very interesting talk as to what is happening in both the camps, and we're just 2 days away from the test match. So let's take some questions relating to this, and then if we have time, we go to our playing 11 as well. Because then if we go to the 11 and then there's no point. Now I know a lot of you would have had questions on just exactly this particular thing that we're discussing. So best time to take those questions is now.
Okay, there you're saying who's the greatest batsman in IPL. That we'll come to it
Yeah,
later.
as soon as we do our this bit is finished.
Yeah.
Ritvika Reddy.
I feel like you should do a weekly show about other sports like F1, football. You are always talking only about cricket, even when there's no match.
You know what, Ritvika, thank you for your comments. But if you know that we did a lot of F1 shows, by the way, and football too as well. But we did not, get the kind of love that you guys give to our cricket shows. Had you shown interest, and if there were more people like you, Ritvika, we probably would have continued. But since it did not resonate with a lot of you, a lot of our subscribers, so we've had to, focus our energies on one sport. That's not to say that we don't do a lot of other sport. Do check out our playlist. It's packed with so many other things. Today there was a exciting TT contest in the World TT Championship with the Indian team. They won their first game. They were just a step away. They went into the round of 16, a step away from securing an Olympic quota, but they lost to Chinese Taipei 3-1. So
and even the men's team are because they lost 3-0 to second-ranked South Korea.
But with South Korea, I didn't expect. With Chinese Taipei, you had a chance.
World number 4.
And Aika had been showing great form, but not today.
Aika, but today, incidentally, the person who was not in good form stepped up today.
Yeah,
Manika
Manika.
Batra.
Manika won one,
Yeah.
but she lost the other close one. Yeah. She could have won that. That was a close game.
Yep. Against Chen Li Cheng.
Wow.
Chen Li Cheng.
Who won both her encounter.
Both. Against Shrija and against Ahika. So,
Yep.
bad loss.
Okay. Piyush Nandre says 80 overs in test matches, 68 maximum over in IPL in official match. IPL doesn't test fast bowlers, but test matches do. So you can't play them for back-to-back test matches even if there is no IPL after that. No, Piyush Nandre, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You have brought in an IPL comparison to judge a fast bowler. Why should it be? Did fast bowlers not exist before IPL? Fast bowlers play no 5 test match series consistently.
And if I have to look at the Ashes in Australia in IPL time, I don't think either of Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins or Lyon missed most of the games. I don't think so.
Yeah.
They played all the tests. Even that's what went against them even in the BGT. They played an unchanged bowling lineup. Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins, Lyon. They lost. But then they said that's our core. We don't want to change that. There is a lot of problems that you have to wrap in cotton wool. Jasprit Bumrah. You have to wrap him in cotton wool looking at the list of injuries, looking at the time he's gotten injured.
And how precious a commodity is.
You take out Bumrah, 80% of that X factor that will worry a team in this current Indian team is gone. Because England now with Bumrah resting, now is our chance to make it 2-2. It's a golden opportunity. They squandered one golden opportunity on day 3 in Vizag. They will not want to do it here. So, Sharan Vinakota is saying, but Nikhil, I slightly disagree that India lost first test because of a spinning pitch. I was there at the match. It was just poor shot selection. And nothing in that pitch, even Bumrah and Siraj played for 40 minutes on that pitch.
No, so Sharan, I agree with you. But firstly, and I think we discussed that a lot, that the first test match was a close encounter. India took a first inning lead. From there on to lose a test match was an unlikely scenario. And I think Ravindra Jadeja summed it up best when he spoke to the press a few days ago, where he said that, we lost that particular test match from a position where we wouldn't have. And that's a rarity.
Yep.
We made mistakes. And 9 times out of 10, we're never going to be repeating those mistakes. Yeah. And I kind of agree with him. So I agree that even on that track, India should have won. So it was a rare couple of off days that the Indian team had, especially while batting in the second innings, from where you lost. Completely agree. So on that pitch also, India would have won. But I'm saying the gap between the teams have increased as you've gone ahead in the series, primarily because of the pitches you've given. So if you've been giving good pitches, the Indian team has looked head and shoulder above the English team. So why not go with that? And by the way, even that wasn't really a ranked turner of a pitch. It was a slow turner. It did not deteriorate for batting as well, which you expect Indian pitches to do. But assuming if you are going down that route now in the Ranchi test, as the reports are saying, going down that route, then you are allowing an inexperienced English bowling lineup to be at par with your experienced bowling lineup. Why would you want to do that? Batting, I'm saying, in these conditions, even though your batting is inexperienced, there's experience. But in these conditions, I think it's at par. Your young batting lineup, even though they're playing their first few test matches, some of them, but they've been born and brought up in these conditions. So they, with an experienced England batting lineup, I'll still put them at par. Had it been in England, then that gap would have increased. But here at par. The difference maker for India versus England has been your bowlers have stepped up even on flat conditions. Their bowlers have not. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you've got such a good bowling lineup who are experienced in a Kuldeep, in a Jadeja, in an Ashwin, even now to an extent in Siraj, you don't have a Bumrah. These guys, even on these pitches, can get you wickets, those 20 wickets that you need. Maybe the England team may not. You saw what a young batting lineup that included just 10th test match and first test match holders Sarfaraz and Yashasvi did to them on flat tracks. Whereas England struggled on that same day on a flat track against our bowler. So why do you want to let go of that advantage? Which is what I'm saying. I hope these reports aren't true and I hope you still get that pitch. Because even without a Bumrah, I know Bumrah will be a big risk. Even without a Bumrah, I think your bowlers will do much better than the other bowlers if you give a traditional age-old Indian pitch.
Absolutely. Karthik K. Gill's form, Sarfaraz ability playing spin, we can have Turner. That's what he says. Even if it's a flat Turner, no problem. Gill is in good form, Yashasvi is in good form, Sarfaraz, his ability to play spin.
You know what, Karthik, I like how we keep going up and down in terms of form. Before the knock that Gill paid recently, despite the 100, the form was being questioned.
Which is why I won't fully agree over there.
Yeah, I'm saying No, I'm not too sure. I'm not. Oh, by the way, that when you got those ranked turners, even a more experienced batting lineup than this, when a Rohit was firing all guns,
Virat.
when a Virat was there, even there you struggle to get runs. So why do that? I don't think that will be a smart move.
Exactly. International 3191 from the US is saying, who are the upcoming quality fast bowlers you see? He means India, right? Only from India. Oh, that's a good question. I mean,
There is talent pool. See, you tried propping up somebody like a Prasidh. You tried backing somebody like Anarshdeep. Then, of course, you also had T. Natarajan. Of course,
you have
two
a
of these-
Karthik Tyagi also, but Karthik Tyagi does get injured frequently.
Yeah, so I get worried with these fast bowlers, who come up and then they get injured as it happens because of the IPL. So I'll wait on that, because just a few years ago, especially when you won in Australia, we could not stop gushing over the list of fast bowlers that we have. When a Natarajan is stepping up, we were proud. There's a Kuldeep Yadav.
Khalil.
Sorry.
Shane, you have to blame him.
Yeah, I have to
You have to
blame him. See, that's why I said don't keep saying it again and again, then it just sticks in your mind.
Khalil Ahmed.
Yeah, Khalil Ahmed.
You don't have any left arm pacers barring
No, doing
Arshdeep.
very good. Mohsin was the next big thing. By the way,
Yash
Avesh also at that time.
Yeah.
Yash Dayal, Prasidh Krishna.
Yeah.
So many fast
You have
bowlers.
a Vaibhav Arora also in the domestic
Vaibhav
circuit.
Arora.
So
Akash Deep,
Akash Singh,
Akash
Singh,
Madwal.
Madwal.
There is Harshit Rana as well.
Akash.
Harshit Rana.
There were so many. I mean, there were so many, but I just want to wait. Oh, the biggest of them all. The man from J&K.
Umran
Malik.
Now he is opening batsman.
No, he's an opening batsman
He
temporarily.
became an opening batsman but fell for a 3-ball duck.
But I'm just saying, so let's hold our horses on that.
Yeah,
Let's wait
exactly.
as and when those fast bowlers come up, and when they perform in Test match, that's when I'm going to judge them.
Yeah.
I have a super chat, private super chat from a friend of mine, Chetan. I'm sure you know he's worked for you and I for many years.
That who's currently on radio duty in this test match?
Is he on radio duty? I didn't know.
Narula, right?
No.
Asha, sorry.
No. So is he on radio duty?
Yeah,
No.
he is. He's doing
No,
I think
no,
for
no,
TNT
no.
Sports. If I'm not
No.
mistaken.
But I'm not talking about
Acha.
that Chetan. So Chetan just messaged me saying that he's enjoying our show and it's quite informative. So a big thumbs up,
Chetan.
and thank you so much
so
to Chetan as well.
So Ritvika Reddy from the US is saying, please talk about why Vinod Kambli fell off. People are comparing Yashasvi to Kambli and calling him a cautionary tale. I don't know why that is. I mean, firstly, I don't believe in the comparison that Yashasvi is like Kambli. Sure, back-to-back double hundreds, even Kambli had back-to-back double hundreds against England and Zimbabwe in 1993. But the backlift and the way how he is playing, I think Kambli had two issues. One, there was a short ball problem against him. So that's why, in order to do that, he went to South Africa to play. He's one of the few Indians to have played in domestic cricket in South Africa. He played for Boland. There he tried, but then he just couldn't get going. And then when the peak was high, the trough was longer. So that's why Kambli couldn't maintain that consistency. But playing in India, playing against spin, man, oh man, he was a sight. And he used to bang the bat and then have this high backlift. Yashasvi is smoother. So I think it's a cautionary tale in the case of Kambli, but I think Yashasvi is far more consistent. And I've not seen that many chinks in his armor at this point. But as Nikhil said, wait for his performances in the Sena countries. Then and only then a complete picture can be made about him.
By the way, on that, I was just watching a lot of these highlights. Like when you see the match, it's different. But when you see the highlights cut like shots one after the other, that's when you can really compare a batter. So Yashasvi, whatever said and done, looks a lot like Kambli. Looks a lot like Kambli. I mean, in terms of the shots that he plays, looks like maybe it's the pads, maybe the fact that he's a left-hander, all of that looks. I'm not saying the results will be the same, and I'm not saying that like one had a weakness against short pitch, the other does not that. I'm saying when you just see a highlight package, it kind of takes you back to if Vinod Kambli is batting.
For me,
Just look.
sometimes his drives are a mixture of Dhawan and Ganguly. Sometimes. More Shikhar Dhawan, I would say, Shikhji, but Kambli, I don't know. I think I might have not seen much of Kambli then, because I did see.
It does look like that, but I'm not saying that they'll be the same batters.
Yeah.
They, I mean, you pointed out, which is correct. Kambli had issues with short pitch bowling, which Yashasvi so far hasn't shown. I'm saying when you just look at shots that he's playing, he's pulling the ball, maybe the pads that he's wearing, again a lefty. A lot of it reminded me of Kambli is batting.
Were their backs equally bent? I'm not too sure about that.
Were they?
The back, you're talking about the way that they
No,
would
but
take
that's a
their
start.
card.
When you play a shot, then you're playing.
But in
accordingly.
terms of just, let's say, appearance, because you're talking about shots again.
No,
the way
because Kambli used to have a very high back.
yeah.
That's not necessary. I'm saying when you see them playing shots, they look quite alike.
And Kambli's peak came very high. But then
And
after that, the decline was rapid. That's the problem. 2-3 seasons, 1995, 93 to 94, he was supreme. After that, I think the World Cup also, and then after that, he just lost confidence. That was the thing with Kambli.
Okay, Naman Kantpal says, I feel they should make a good pitch as Ranchi has red soil. It will be very interesting how the bowling first bat in the second innings, as third and fourth innings will be a shootout, important who will take Root's wicket. That's true. By the way, Ranchi also served up one boring test match.
Australia.
Yeah,
That
boring.
was. But
ended in a
Ranchi's
black
sluggish.
soil. Ended in a draw.
I think it is black soil.
It's black soil.
Black, is it?
I think western part of India is where you get the red soil. Eastern part only, I think there's Odisha, but there they make those kind of soil and pitches in that
No,
sense.
unless he may be, I will have to check.
Maybe,
That's why.
yeah.
No, not for the region. May have bought in red soil.
May have
as
bought
well.
in, maybe. Yeah, but
Why
then
do I have a feeling that even Ranchi has red soil actually? Now that I think of it, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking in general topography of that area.
because see,
It's
in
possible.
2017,
It is possible.
I have a feeling it's red. I don't know.
Yeah.
it was a
my
feather
favourite
bed.
shot.
Australia BGT, that was where
Yeah.
Maxwell hit a century, Pujara hit a double ton, I think Riddhiman Saha scored a century in that. So, and that was, by the way, Ranchi is very
No,
special.
you're right. They have black soil pitches.
Yeah.
Ranchi, yeah.
First.
And that
This is
test
the first test match, right?
in Ranchi.
In
at the
Ranchi,
JSC.
yeah.
It was Pat Cummins' comeback after 6 years. That was the test match.
And the other one, I think, was
India or South Africa.
South Africa. There was a big innings win.
Shahbaz Nadeem's debut.
Yeah.
Rohit hit a double hundred in that.
Double 100, yeah.
Yep. So
Okay, Ashish Dhar says, will players prefer ICC World Cup or IPL if scheduled at the same time? They can never be scheduled at the same time. Who will have to do that? This can't even be a hypothetical question.
I know.
Because it never happened.
This is outlandish.
Okay, Shan is saying, where is Umran Malik and why are we not trying him in Sena countries? Well, Shan, he is now as the opening batter of J&K recently opened. He's playing Ranji Trophy.
And if you want to blame one individual who destroyed his confidence, Nitish Rana in the IPL.
Yeah.
Took him for 28 runs. And that too, Nitish Rana struggling against short ball.
So much so that after 6 games, his franchise also didn't play him after that last year.
Yep.
Okay, on that subject, we were saying that what happened in the fifth test match if Virat then is made available, whatever. So GGK says Sarfraz and Jaiswal are now certainties. If by chance Virat comes for the fifth test, KL will have to be dropped. Sarfraz will be legend in test like Smith.
But you know, GGK, Smith didn't become the legend of legends until 2013. It took him 3 years. And that too, by chance he went to number 3 and he scored 138 at the Oval. Otherwise, the start that Smith had, no one ever believed he would go that far. He got out for 21 in 2 tests. And I think that Leeds test gave a glimmer of hope that yes, against Pakistan, where he hit 77 and gave them the target of 180. But Sarfraz has had a great start, let's hope he doesn't taper off.
Okay, Vishal says, Bumrah is rested in India, so do you think he's also got the same workload management in Australia for 5 test series? Interesting question. He says also Yashasvi Jaiswal reminded me Vinod Kambli the way he used to play test cricket. Exactly, Vishal. I'm with you. As I said, just to the naked eye, look a lot like Vinod Kambli. Again, there are differences in both their games as we've discussed in detail. But looks like that, especially when you see the highlight package. Like when you cut 1-4, 1-4, 4-4, 4-4, 4, it does look a lot like that. Interesting question. If you're playing a 5 series in Australia, are you going to be resting Bumrah there? I think the short answer to that is yes. I think if you're following it here, you'll have to follow it in Australia as well.
You will
I reckon.
have to because CT25 is in February.
Yeah. And your
this goes
series
from-
begins in November, ends in January.
No, but even if it was not there, because this is the diktat by the NCA, then you'll have to follow it any which way.
See, mostly your series is beginning in November, mid-November, end of November. You're playing from November 26th to 30th. That's what I can think about. December 7th to 11th is your second test, Adelaide, ping ball. Third test is most likely going to be Perth, 15th to 19th. And then Boxing Day.
Boxing Day and
New Year.
New Year's test.
Yeah, I think it's only a 5-test series.
It is a 5 test.
Or I think they may have 3 ODIs as preparation for the CT.
So 5 matches, test matches is a certainty. I'm not too sure about the ODIs.
I think the schedule will be announced in October or something like that.
Divyank, on that subject that we were discussing, he has an opinion. He says, why not Akshar over Patidar? Gives you both batting and bowling options, which is what we discussed even before the last test match, saying Akshar has been so good with the bat that while his returns with ball hasn't been great, but if I was Akshar, I would say, why are you even looking at me as a bowler? Just look at me as a batter. How am I doing? And yeah, you're doing very well.
Yep.
So say, consider me. I'm bowling. If you need, I'll chip in.
Yeah.
If not, then look at me as a batter. And he would make a valid case for it.
He would again, but the idea, the team management will not just look at it like that. It's got to be looking things differently, not as objectively as it may appear, because you have to going forward. I know Rajat Patidar is 30, but then going forward, you need a core. You want specialist batters in your side. You're going to be playing beyond Indian conditions. I think that's the idea, which is what is stopping you from, let's say, having Akshar as purely a batter. Because overseas, you know, it won't work. It is something you will have to change eventually.
Yep. Because see, you're going to play only in India until October. Your last series is Australia. That's an overseas series. So you will have to play with your 3-4 fast bowlers that are there. Bumrah, Shami, Siraj will come in. And only 2 spinners. At max you're playing 2 spinners in Sydney. You're not playing it anywhere else. If Melbourne dishes out a slow deck, then that's their issue then. But only Sydney, you have a hypothetical chance of playing 2 spinners. That's it.
Okay, final question for the day. And that is from Piyush Nandre. Piyush, firstly, I think you joined us late. We spent the first 15 minutes talking exactly what you're asking us.
Yeah.
But since you joined late, you're a regular viewer, will be kind enough. His question is, what's KL Rahul's fitness status? Why is he not available for the 4th test? And I'll allow Siddharth to answer because he remained mum on the entire KL Rahul debate when we had. So now is his chance to speak his mind.
So KL Rahul has been ruled out for the 4th test. He's also in doubt for the 5th because of fitness concerns. Now remember, he got injured in Hyderabad, and that's why 3 tests. He was named in the 3-test squad, which was named after the 2nd test got over, but he's not regained full fitness.
Okay, I have rapid fire for you to sum up the KL Rahul situation. You have 1-word answers. Rapid fire. Is he available for the Ranchi test?
No.
Will he be available for the Dharamshala test?
Yes.
Will he be available for the IPL?
Yes.
Will he be looked at as a wicket keeper batter if Virat Kohli also returns for the final test? Will he?
No.
Answered in rapid fire. He's given you all the answers without wasting your time. Though we discussed that at length earlier on in the program. If you joined us now, do check that out. Yeah, we didn't discuss what we came here to discuss. But that's the beauty of the program.
Yep.
There are no fixed agenda. There is no fixed subject that you have to come here, and then wherever the talk takes us, we go.
Yeah.
Because it's Test cricket season, and I'm very happy that we did not talk about what we intended to talk about, because it is Test cricket season and we've kept on with the subject on Test cricket.
Yep.
And that means tomorrow also we won't talk about it, because tomorrow we're going to preview
the 4th test. Yes.
So for those of you who came up with your IPL 11s, and I know some of you sent it, apologies. But what we can do is, once the test match starts, one of those days we can do the IPL 11.
You've got a 9-day.
And we can play it out in the 9-day break, or we can do it in the 9-day break.
In the
We
9-day
can
break.
do it in the 9-day break. Yeah.
But it's Test cricket. 9 days will be a long time.
Yep. Indeed.
Anyway, the work that Shivam and his team have done in preparing the graphics can be saved. It will not go waste.
And neither should this paper.
Neither should the paper. All the
Which will not
printouts
get
that we
jammed.
took, because of which we started late.
It won't get jammed later on, so we already got it ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
So see you. Anything? Speak now or forever hold your silence. Anything you want to talk about? Anything under the sun? Any complaints? Issue? 2 days holiday. You had a good time.
I had a great time.
I'm just hungry right now.
I'm just hungry. So am I.
Yep.
I don't have time to eat. I have a football game to go for. Are we live? Football game is not live. You could send a
StreamYard.
StreamYard link.
The guy also runs along
No,
with you
put it on a tripod and keep playing.
and keep running. That's
No, leave it in one corner.
Then, okay, it has to be somewhere near the goal in that sense. Yeah.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye, Nandri.
Take
See
care. Nandri, Vanakkam, Shabba Khair, Shubhratri.
you. Yep.
Vanakkam.